Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to tell you the story of a movie in which the safest plane in the world, the US presidential aircraft, is attacked, resulting in the death of two of the world's most important leaders. If you enjoy it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A secret agent named Noel, working undercover as a journalist, is reporting on a festival in Spain. She and her team, made up of American and British operatives, are carrying out a covert mission to capture an arms dealer named Gradov. Coop spots Gradov in the crowd, but it's not just one of him. Several people in the crowd are dressed like him to create confusion. Noel notices a van entering the crowd and parking next to their command van. She immediately orders her team to contact headquarters and request activation of the Echelon servers. These servers are so powerful they can identify Gradov's face from anywhere on Earth. A sniper locates Coop and kills him. The entire operation is compromised and the team members in the cafe are gunned down. The command van is attacked and the terrorists manage to breach the Echelon servers. Noel shoots the sniper and tries to reach the van. She takes down the terrorists inside, but while she's distracted, someone shoots her with a shotgun. She's still alive, but passes out from her injuries. Meanwhile, in London, the British Prime Minister Sam is hosting the US President Will. But Sam is far from pleased. Will used to be just a movie star who leveraged his fame to become president, and Sam doesn't think he's a real capable leader.
Recap camp.
While Sam is doing his morning run, he gets the news that Agent Noel went missing during the mission. Sam and Noel once had a romantic relationship, and he's so shaken that his bodyguards think something has happened to him. President Will is on his way to see the Prime Minister. His advisor, Bradshaw, briefs him on what happened in Spain and warns him not to get into any spats with Sam. Just keep things calm. Sam and Will appear together at a joint press conference. At first, things go smoothly, until a journalist asks about the agents killed in Spain. Will tries to brush it off with jokes and humor, but it backfires. Sam tries to cover up Will's blunder, but they end up in a heated argument that wrecks the entire conference. The internet blows up with controversy, and Will is furious with Sam. Bradshaw and Sam's advisor Quincy try to calm them both down. They all agree they need to find a way to de-escalate the situation. Their schedule requires them to travel to another city. Quincy suggests they fly together on the US presidential plane to show the press they're united. Reluctantly, they agree. On board, while chatting in Will's cabin, Sam starts mocking Will again, saying he's not a real president. Will loses his temper and they argue again. At that moment, a cook personally brings food to the crew, but when he enters the cabin, he suddenly attacks the agents and quickly kills them all. He manipulates the systems, so the plane becomes visible on radar. Gradov's men locate the presidential plane on the radar. While Will and Sam are still bickering, Will looks out the window and sees another aircraft approaching fast. The enemy plane prepares to attack, triggering the presidential plane's defensive weapons. Several drones are launched toward them. When Sam spots the cook, he notices blood on his clothes and warns the bodyguards. At that exact moment, the defensive weapons start firing, distracting the guards. The cook ambushes and kills them. When he's about to kill Will, Will's personal bodyguard arrives and saves him. More drones swarm the plane, and one collides with an engine, causing an explosion. The captain orders them to ignore the drones and instead target the enemy aircraft, but the drones destroy all their weapons. One drone smashes into the fuselage, creating a hole. Will and Sam cling to their seats to avoid being sucked out. The pilot lowers the altitude to stabilize cabin pressure, but two more engines are destroyed, sending the plane into a spin. Will's bodyguard rushes them to the back of the plane to reach the parachutes. As the pilot tries to level the plane, a drone crashes directly into the cockpit and explodes. The cook reaches the parachute compartment first, grabs one, burns the rest, and jumps out. Will and Sam manage to find two intact parachutes. Will's bodyguard hands them over and says they're near the Belarus border, and after landing, they must make their way to a safe house in Poland. Will begs the bodyguard to share a parachute, but the bodyguard says it's too risky. He salutes the president and shoves them both out. Will regains consciousness in a forest. His parachute is tangled in the trees, leaving him hanging mid-air. Sam finds him. Will wants to call his family to let them know he's alive, but Sam throws his shoe, knocking the phone from Will's hand. Sam explains that in Belarus, enemy forces can find them quickly, so they need to reach the border and get into Poland. Will agrees, and Sam helps him down. News outlets are soon flooded with reports of the presidential plane crashing. Meanwhile, back in the US, Kirk, Will's vice president, becomes acting president. Kirk activates the continuity of government protocol via the Echelon servers, but as soon as it's activated, they lose control of Echelon. Gradov's IT specialist Arthur manages to take full control of the system. On their way, Will and Sam reach a village. Will, recalling what he's learned from his movies, knows how to hotwire a car. They try to quietly steal a vehicle but get caught. They attempt to talk their way out but fail. Several young men attack them and Will and Sam are in deep trouble. Will uses a few fight moves he learned from his films, while Sam relies on basic self-defense skills. Just when things are about to get worse, gunshots ring out and the young men scatter. A woman appears. Sam tells her they're Canadian and need to cross the border but have no documents. Without hesitation, she agrees to help them. Sam and Will hide in the back of a truck among sheep. At the border, officers inspect the vehicle. The woman bribes them with one of her lambs, successfully crossing into Poland. She takes them to a safe house. Will tries to give her his watch in gratitude, but she smiles and says,
"It was my pleasure, Mr. President."
The safe house manager spots them through the cameras and grants entry. His name is Marty. Realizing they're unaware of the situation, Marty explains that someone hacked the Echelon servers and leaked a massive amount of NATO's classified information, causing NATO member countries to turn against each other. Arthur identifies them at the safe house through the cameras, and Gradov orders his men to head there immediately. At a White House meeting, Bradshaw insists they must keep searching for the president, but Quincy thinks it's a waste of time and that they should focus on the current crisis instead. When Marty tries to make a call, they realize the phone line is dead. The house alarm blares. Gradov's men have arrived and are storming the building. Marty has an entire arsenal stored there, and they quickly arm themselves.
Not in the movies now, son.
It seems Marty has been waiting his whole life for this moment. The attackers breach the house, using hidden cameras inside the house to shoot them through the walls, killing several quickly. One of the attackers finds and destroys the camera, then charges at Marty. Marty gets wounded while trying to escape. Sam and Will attempt to save him but fail. Marty tells them to run. When he tries to detonate a grenade, they stop him and kill him instead. They find the hidden elevator. Will shoots at the attackers to hold them back while they escape just in time. They exit through the garage, but two attackers are waiting in ambush. At that moment, a police car arrives and kills the attackers. The driver is Noel. She and Sam are shocked to see each other. Sam asks her, "How are you still alive?"
Long story.
They leave the area. Noel explains to Will that years ago, when Gradov's son was about to obtain a nuclear weapon, they were forced to kill him. This is why Gradov wants revenge. But the bigger question is that which government official is working with Gradov and helped him attack the plane? Will knows the answer. He says it was the one who insisted they both board the plane together. Noel says the safest place now is the NATO summit scheduled for tomorrow. They board a moving train to get there. Arthur tracks them down on the train. While Sam thinks Will is asleep, he talks to Noel about their past and the feelings they still have for each other. But Will hears everything. Will later brings it up with Sam. Sam tells him that during a mission, his relationship with Noel fell apart, but they still care for each other. At that moment, Arthur enters the cabin with another man. Instead of shooting them, Arthur shoots his own man. Thinking he's dead, the man suddenly fires back, wounding Arthur. Noel rushes in and tells Arthur to drop his weapon. Sam stops her from killing him. Arthur tells them he never wanted to work for Gradov, but was forced to cooperate to save his own life. He says the only way to identify the mole is through a secret communication system Gradov uses to contact his people, and one such system can be found on the 5th floor of a certain building. He gives them the address. He also warns them that Gradov's men are waiting at the next station, so they should jump off the train immediately. Arthur bleeds out and dies. Sam opens the train door. The train is moving fast, but they have no choice. They jump one by one and all survive. They steal a car from a nearby village and drive to the address Arthur gave them. The building is completely abandoned. At first, they find nothing on the 5th floor, but Noel carefully searches and discovers a hidden compartment. It's made of glass to appear invisible. Gradov's men find them. Noel discovers a stash of weapons inside the compartment. Noel needs Will's help, while Sam must hold off the enemies alone. From the upper floor, Sam fires at them, taking several down. Noel inputs the password and accesses the system. More enemies are coming. Sam tosses a bag full of grenades down the hallway, causing a massive explosion. Noel discovers the name of the mole. To everyone's surprise, it's not Quincy, it's Bradshaw. Will can't believe it. Gradov's men are ordered to retreat. At that moment, a helicopter fires 2 metal hooks toward the compartment, trying to pull it out of the building. Sam rushes to them but can't do anything. The helicopter lifts the compartment and Noel and Will cling tightly to the walls. Gradov is aboard the helicopter and fires a missile at Sam. The entire floor explodes and Noel sees it happen. Determined to keep Will alive at any cost, she hangs on. They dangle from the compartment, and near a rooftop they let go and drop onto it. The helicopter releases the compartment and Gradov assumes they're dead. After the job is done, Gradov's men receive a message and turn on him, attacking him in the helicopter. Gradov manages to throw them out. He realizes his partner betrayed him. Noel and Will find a boat and head toward the NATO summit overnight. When they reach the shore, Will contacts Kirk. Kirk is shocked to hear his voice and asks how he's still alive. Will tells him he'll explain everything later, but for now, send a car and don't tell anyone, especially Bradshaw. The presidential limousine arrives and they get in, but the car drives off and Will realizes it wasn't Bradshaw, it was Kirk all along. Noel doesn't hesitate and attacks the man, while Will tries to grab his gun. At that moment, Gradov's men catch up to them. Will manages to get the gun, but as he's about to shoot, another car crashes into them, causing Will to accidentally shoot the driver. Noel tells him to grab the wheel. Suddenly, a fire truck rams into one of the enemy cars. It's Sam driving. Sam opens the door and jumps in. Will asks how he's still alive. But Sam says, save it for later, and takes Will's seat. Will is injured. Sam opens the door, and Noel throws the attacker out. Sam struggles to escape through narrow alleyways. Will throws the bags of blood from the car onto the windshield of one enemy vehicle, making it crash and explode. The last car fires an RPG at them, but the limo withstands the blast, and they manage to reach the NATO summit. In the middle of the summit, they storm in, shocking everyone, especially Kirk. Kirk is shot and killed. Gradov and his men infiltrate the building and start shooting everyone. Noel enters through a side door and kills several of them. Seeing Noel closing in, Gradov flees. Sam and Will try to evacuate people from the building. A helicopter shatters the building's glass roof, lowering a rope to pick up Gradov. Noel arrives just in time and blocks Gradov's path. Sam and Will rush to help her. They chase Gradov, while Noel fights his top commander. They find 2 rifles and catch up to Gradov. Will manages to wound Gradov. Meanwhile, Noel is trapped with no escape. Noel drags the man toward the staircase and throws herself down with him. His head hits the stairs, killing him. Gradov is surrounded and out of bullets. As Will approaches to arrest him, Gradov finds a hidden pistol and stops him. Sam is forced to drop his weapon. Gradov slowly backs toward the helicopter to escape. Sam has a plan, one he took from a movie Will once starred in. Will instantly understands the plan. Sam charges Gradov. Gradov shoots him. Will seizes the moment, grabs the statue, and throws it into the helicopter's rotor. The helicopter crashes and explodes. Sam survives his injury, and the whole ordeal finally ends. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do.